What's up guys, it's Aiden Gray here and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are doing a media studies assessment, and miss, you're probably watching this, so please give me an excellence. So without further ado, let's get into the first piece of media. Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'm doing my media studies assessment on YouTube, because it's the easiest way I know how. So, let's get into it. This is the concept that we've been studying in media studies. Different people experience pieces of media differently. Now what this means is that you may watch like an episode of Friends or a TV show and think it differently than someone, say, from a different age group or culture. So this is different people experiencing different pieces of media differently. So without further ado, let's get into the actual assessment. So the three pieces of media we reacted to in class were an episode of Friends, specifically episode 18, season 9, a TikTok from the creator Darren Mahino, and finally an advert for State Insurance. And the other person who's reacting to these three pieces of media is Jane Doe. Jane Doe is a 34-year-old businesswoman. She also has a home and 2 cars. She's married with no children, is Asian, New Zealand, European, and lives in the Wellington region. She also enjoys marathon running in her spare time and gardening. And just so you know a little bit about me, I am a 14-year-old male from New Zealand, the Manawatu Wanganui region. I'm a student and a freelance filmmaker. My family owns a house and I'm Canadian, New Zealand, European. My hobbies are YouTube, skiing, mountain biking, and making films. So now that you know the people that we're comparing, me and Jane, let's get into the first piece of media. By the way guys, if you haven't yet, please leave a subscription. It means a lot to me. By the way guys, sorry miss, this is just a little intervention for YouTube purposes. By the way guys, if you haven't yet, please leave a subscription. It would mean the world to me, and you can always unsubscribe. It's free, it doesn't hurt anyone, and I would love you. So, let's get back into the video. So first off, we watched an episode of the TV show Friends, and so did Jane. And here's what we found out about how I reacted to it. So my reaction is, I thought this episode was very funny and enjoyable. Although I couldn't relate to almost any of the jokes and issues that were displayed in the episode, such as playing the lottery or struggling to get a job, because of my age and not being able to get a job and for it being illegal for me to gamble, but I could enjoy the sarcastic comedy of the characters such as Chandler Bing. I did feel that there was a bit of overused laugh track, and that took me out of the viewing experience here and there, but overall it was a good episode. That's what I thought. Now for Jane's reaction of the episode. Jane's reaction. I really enjoyed this episode. I found it funny and was fully engaged the entire time. I found the characters that I could relate to and issues that I could understand and appreciate. I watched this show when I was younger, so this brought back some good memories for me. Some of the jokes could possibly be seen as offensive these days, but I was not offended personally, and appreciated what the creators were trying to achieve. My favorite character was Phoebe, as I like how different and quirky she is. I have seen this show before, but could continue to watch more episodes of this show on Netflix, or if it was ever on TV. So, from these reactions, there is clearly some differences between mine and Jane's reaction to this show, as we are completely different demographics, and this is expected. Now, some of the differences between mine and Jane's reactions are pretty clear because of our descriptions. When Jane was asked to watch this episode, she was a 34-year-old business owner who already had a lot more life experience than myself. So she was already set to have a different opinion to me. While at the time I was asked to watch this show, I was a 14-year-old freeloader who was still at school and enjoys doing YouTube videos in my spare time. So this already made comparing our different reactions pretty easy based on our demographic differences. We both watched the show and recorded down our reactions, as you have already seen, and there are a lot of noticeable differences though. When Jane watched this video, she said she felt feelings of nostalgia and it brought back good memories. This is because when the episode first came out, Jane was 16 and was the perfect age to love this show when it was released, while I had only recently started watching the seasons, and I would call myself a fan, but I don't have much feelings of nostalgia related to the show because I was born well after the show was cancelled, and I watched this episode while I am still streaming other episodes in my own time. Another thing is, Jane said she could relate to the problems that the characters went through in the show, which consist of trying to win the lottery and struggling to get a job. This is clearly shown throughout the episode. This is most likely because Jane is a grown woman who has already been through these same situations in her life. And on the other hand, I couldn't relate to any of that, and the only enjoyment I got from the episode was mostly the humour and the writing of the characters, as I have never had to face those kind of problems yet. Jane also said that some people would find this comedy offensive nowadays, and she didn't personally. I didn't find any of the jokes offensive, but I could see how some of the jokes maybe didn't age well, and that some people nowadays could find them a bit more offensive, especially because the show wasn't aimed at my generation, and was more specifically aimed at Jane's. Now, let's get on to the second piece of media, TikTok. Now this is where our demographic differences really show. This TikTok was from the creator Darren Mahino. By the way, if he sees this, Darren, we're watching your videos in class. So this is my reaction to the piece of media. I definitely understood where the comedy of this TikTok was coming from, even though I personally thought it wasn't very funny. Sorry, Darren. I am definitely part of the demographic for this piece of media, as I am born in New Zealand and I am a born New Zealander. I wouldn't identify with this part of the Māori culture, but have grown up around it, and it isn't something foreign to me. The videos were unique in themselves, but overall I didn't exactly enjoy them, and I wouldn't watch them again. Now for Jane's reaction. I didn't really understand this. I think it was meant to be funny, but the humour did not really reach me. I didn't engage with it very much, and definitely wouldn't watch it again. I didn't find the issues in the TikTok very relatable, and since I don't have TikTok myself, I'm not sure who the creator is or what their content is like. I didn't find the media message offensive, but I didn't really enjoy it either. Now here are where our differences can really be seen. Jane said, and I quote, "I didn't really understand this." Now this is most likely because of her ethnicity, I'm assuming. She is an Asian New Zealand European. So even though she could have been born in New Zealand, she might have grown up with maybe more of an Asian culture than the Māori New Zealand culture. As where I have grown up around this sort of thing in schools, we regularly did hakas at assemblies and learnt some of the Māori language. Jane also said she didn't find the issues relatable. I didn't either particularly, but I did get it. In the first video, Darren is shown doing some sort of haka type thing in the ocean. I've grown up around beaches and oceans, and linking this to the Māori culture I have learned in schools, I could understand this. Jane may not have learnt about Māori culture when she was young, leading her to find this foreign or confusing. Although neither of us found it particularly funny, I am more a part of the demographic for this than Jane is. Now for the third piece of media, the advertisement.
Tonight I crashed into the Poultry Queen. Destroyed exports for China. Truck turned like an ocean line.
This advert was for state insurance, and it was also the final piece of media we studied in class. Jen and I both wrote down our reaction to this, and here is mine. I thought the song and style of this video was very catchy and memorable, as it was a parody of a song I already know. Although this was good, I didn't actually have any interest in the product they were selling, which was insurance, and more just the visuals and audio of the video. I didn't find the video relatable, because I don't need to worry about insurance for quite a while yet. They definitely weren't aiming the video at me, and I am not the target audience for this ad, but it still caught my eye and I won't forget the tune anytime soon. Now that was my written reaction, and here's Jane's. This advertisement was catchy and memorable, but I had a mixed reaction to it. The song was upbeat and made the ad memorable, however I didn't appreciate or show interest in the product they were trying to sell. This is a product they were probably trying to sell to a person like me, but my loyalty stays with another company due to my past experiences. I found parts of the commercial offensive, and for that reason I stopped engaging with the media message. I found the issues raised in this advertisement relatable, but not in a positive way. There is a lot of differences. Jane stated she also found the song catchy and funny, as did I. And who wouldn't? It was very, very catchy. But she also said she found some of the video offensive. Now this, I can see why she would have. In the video where the stereotypical Asian wife came out, using a very strong, obviously fake Asian accent, I could see how this could have been used to get attention to more cultures and like branching out, but I also could have seen how Jane would have found this more offensive coming from an Asian background. On the other hand, I didn't find the video offensive at all. I just enjoyed watching it a few times. Another thing Jane said is that she can see how they were trying to tap into her need for insurance, but she was already loyal to a different company due to past experiences. Now I can't relate to this at all due to me not needing insurance at my age. However, Jane is the perfect candidate for this kind of thing, as she owns a house, 2 vehicles, a small business, and that just has insurance need written all over it. But she said she was already loyal to a different company due to past experiences. Now this could be because she was with State, but they didn't do what was promised, or just because she's with a company that treated her really well. But I didn't have this problem myself. As yet, I am still too young and I don't have something like a car that I would need to put insurance on. And if I did, that would be up to my parents until I could do that myself. Anyway guys, that was the final piece of media. I hope you enjoyed, miss. I hope this video was good. And that's all I really have to say. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.